It was a rainy Tuesday morning when Clara Evans received an email that would change her life. She almost deleted it, thinking it was spam. Congratulations, you have won a free trip to Paris. Clara blinked at the screen. She was 35, worked in a small bookstore in London, and had not been on a vacation for as long as she could remember. Paris? She whispered to herself. The word felt like a dream. She had always imagined walking along the River Seine, visiting the Eiffel Tower, and tasting real French croissants. But there was one problem. Clara hated traveling alone. The thought of being in a foreign city with no familiar face made her stomach twitch. At lunch, her best friend Mia noticed Clara's frown. Mia, what's wrong? You look like someone told you books are going out of fashion. Clara laughed softly. I won a trip to Paris. Mia, that's amazing. So when do you go? Clara, I don't think I can. I'd be all alone there. What if I get lost or can't order food or... Clara, you've been playing it safe for years. Maybe it's time to do something just for you. Mia's words stayed with her all evening. That night, Clara sat on her bed with her suitcase beside her. She looked at her passport, untouched since it was renewed 5 years ago. Maybe I should go. The next morning, she booked the trip before she could change her mind. A week later, Clara found herself at Heathrow Airport. Her heart pounded as the boarding announcement for Paris echoed through the terminal. She took a deep breath. This is it. No turning back. On the plane, she sat by the window. Clouds drifted by, and she imagined the Eiffel Tower rising above the city lights. When she arrived at Charles de Gaulle Airport, the signs in French made her nervous. She clutched her small phrase book. Clara, to herself. Bonjour means hello. Merci means thank you. I can do this. Her taxi ride into the city felt like a movie scene. The narrow streets, the balconies covered with flowers, the smell of fresh bread. She checked into a small hotel in Montmartre, her room overlooking a cobblestone street where an artist painted under a red umbrella. That evening, she decided to take a short walk. A cafe on the corner caught her eye. She stepped inside, ordered a café au lait in shaky French, and to her surprise, the waiter smiled warmly. Over the next 2 days, Clara explored little by little. She visited the Louvre and stood in front of the Mona Lisa, feeling both small and alive. She climbed the Eiffel Tower, her hands trembling, not from fear of heights, but from excitement. One afternoon, she joined a walking tour. The guide, a cheerful young man named Julien, pointed out hidden gardens, street art, and bakeries famous for their pastries. Julien, in Paris, we say joie de vivre. It means the joy of living. Clara wrote it down in her notebook. On the 4th day, rain poured over the city. Clara sat in a quiet bookstore, flipping through old French novels. The owner, an elderly woman with silver hair, asked in slow English, "First time in Paris?" Clara said, "Yes, and I was afraid to come alone." "Ah, but now you are here, and you are not afraid, no?" Clara smiled. She realized she hadn't thought about her fear for days. At a small evening market, Clara met Sophie, a Parisian who sold handmade scarves. They began talking, and Sophie invited her to a picnic by the Seine the next day. The picnic was magical. Fresh baguettes, soft cheese, sweet strawberries. Sophie taught Clara French phrases, and they laughed until the sun set, painting the sky orange and pink. By the end of the week, Clara no longer carried her phrase book everywhere. She had favorite cafes, knew which metro lines to take, and could even give directions to tourists. One evening, she walked alone along the Pont Alexandre III bridge. The city lights reflected in the water, and music from a street violinist filled the air. She thought about her life in London, the bookstore, her quiet routine, and realized she had been hiding from the world. Here in Paris, she felt brave, alive, free. On her last morning, she sat at her favorite cafe, sipping coffee. She wrote a postcard to Mia. "Thank you for pushing me to come. Paris gave me more than memories. It gave me myself back." When the taxi took her to the airport, Clara looked out at the city one last time. She knew she would return, not because she had to, but because she wanted to. As the plane took off, she whispered to herself, "The world is bigger than my fears." And so, Clara's journey began, with a passport to Paris. But what she truly found was a passport to her own courage.